everyone, so today's video is going to be a question and answer about curly hair, and I've done one of these previously but I've still got so many questions that I couldn't cover in that video, and I've just written a couple of them down on my phone and I'm going to read them out to you. And these are questions that you kind of left as comments on the previous video and things you asked me on Facebook. The first question is, I really want to know how you get your hair so straight and shiny. I have similar hair to yours and can never get it to look as perfect as yours. The last few pics you've posted, I've noticed your hair looks even better than usual. Are you doing something new? First of all, thank you. Second of all, I'm not doing anything new, but when I straighten my hair, I like to kind of do it in the method of I'll wash it. I'll use different products than I would use if I was going to wear it curly, and I'll just kind of wash my hair, then get out, dry it with a hairdryer. So tip my head upside down, dry it with a hairdryer to kind of make it big and give it a bit of volume, and then just go over it with my Cloud9 straighteners. And I kind of just followed the routine that I did in my Kate Middleton hair tutorial, which I will link in the down bar, because that's kind of how I like my hair to look when I'm straightening it. The second question is, do you ever wish you had straight hair? This is a really interesting question, and it's kind of got two parts. I don't wish that I had straight hair because I'm a curly haired girl. It's kind of part of who I am, and it's not something that I feel like I can change very easily, because my hair is just so curly and it's just part of who I am. It's always been who I am. I've had curly hair as a child even, so no, but I would I'd like the ease of being able to have straight hair, so not having to wake up and it be a certain day one day, and then a certain look one day and then another the next day, and that kind of thing. I'd like it to kind of be more uniform, and be a bit more predictable and manageable, and not having to wash it every day would be an absolute lifesaver. So I wouldn't want straight hair, but I would at the same time, if that makes sense. And I like the fact that I can chop and change. I like that I can wear it curly and that I can wear it straight when I want. I feel like that's kind of like a nice balance, and it's enjoyable for me to kind of be able to chop and change between them. Question number three, sorry. What are the best sulfate products? Is it true that sulfates damage curls, and the pros and cons of co-washing? So sulfate-free products, what do I think of them? In all honesty, I'm not a massive fan of sulfate-free products, purely because I've never really noticed much of a difference when I use sulfate-free products. In fact, I felt like they kind of made my curls a little bit limp, and they just didn't really work for me. So I haven't got any fantastic sulfate-free products to recommend to you, with the exception of the Organic Surge shampoos and conditioners. They're sulfate-free and they're very, very nice, but they're the only ones really that I can sort of 100% say that I think have worked really well for my hair. But in terms of, do I think sulfates damage curls? I think it really depends. I think if you've got very, very dry hair, then going down the sulfate free road is a good option, because you will be able to kind of insert moisture back into your hair, and you're kind of treating your hair properly. But I haven't got dry hair at all, so for me it hasn't really worked. But I definitely think if you've got dry hair, then look down that kind of route. Co-washing, first of all, what is co-washing? Co-washing is only washing your hair with conditioner. Supposedly the theory is that it's not the shampoo that cleans your hair, it's the action of kind of lathering it up. So there's no need to use it. It's got sulfates and that kind of thing, and it's not great for curls. So I did try co-washing a few years back. Didn't really work for me. Again, I think it works very well if you've got very dry curly hair. My hair isn't dry at all, so it didn't work for me. But I definitely think it's something that's, again, worth looking into if you have got very dry curls. Someone who's got hair like my mum, for example, I think would benefit from co-washing. It's something that does work pretty well if you've got dry hair. Then the next question is, do you feel like it takes forever to air dry? My hair's down to my bra strap, and the longer it gets, the longer my routine gets. Have you ever tried hairspray once it's dry to set it? I've tried a few and they feel so drying. So my hair dries pretty quickly. I think that's because I look like I've got a lot of hair, and I've got a lot of hair, but it's not thick hair. If I kind of cut my hair, it's not very thick. It doesn't feel kind of like it's got a lot of substance to it. It's not nice thick hair, it's just there's a lot of it. So it doesn't take very long for my hair to dry at all. But if you do feel like it takes a long time to dry, then you could just use a diffuser and dry it. My hair looks nice when I use a diffuser on it, but in all honesty I can just never be bothered because it just takes a really long time for me with a diffuser and it makes my arm hurt. But I don't really have a problem with that. But like I said, if you do try a diffuser. Then the other part of the question was, do I ever use hairspray to set it? I do sometimes. I don't feel like it really makes much difference. I'll just kind of spray it and sort of zhuzh up the roots a little bit. It lasts for a little bit and then it kind of fades. Doesn't really make that much of a difference for me, at least. So that's not something that I'm too worried about. But if you do find them very drying, and hairsprays are drying by nature, then try using one that's got a lower hold because they tend to be a little bit softer. In a bad hair day, how do you style your hair? This really depends. If I was having a really bad hair day and I needed my hair to look good, I would wash it and dry it and straighten it, because that just solves the problem instantly. But if my hair was looking okay and I didn't have anywhere super important to go, I would put it up. I'd just put it up in a donut, and I've done a tutorial about that, one of the Lauren's Way donuts. I'll put that in the down bar if you want to go and have a look. But that's what I would do if it was kind of being a little bit tricky. Then I need to go back because the next questions are here. Okay. Do you have an alternative for the Boots Essentials curl cream, since that is not found here in the US? Also, when you go swimming, do you put anything in your hair to avoid the frizz? The only alternative that I know that in the US you can get for the Boots Curls cream is the Herbal Essences. It comes in a purple tub and it's one of the Tussle Me Softly. I think it's called like texturizing cream or something like that. That's a good dupe for it. It's not as good, it hasn't got as much definition to it, but it's a nice alternative if you can't get hold of the Boots Curl cream. Then we have what do you or have you done for sorry, I missed the question about the swimming and frizz. When I go swimming, I don't do anything to my hair. If I'm in a swimming pool, I'll tend to kind of just bung it up on top of my head in a bun and try and not get it wet, because swimming pool and the chlorine water and that kind of thing is really, really bad for your hair. So I try and do that. In the sea, I totally let my hair get wet. My hair looks amazing when I've been in the sea. It does this kind of really defined big curl thing. It looks great. I wish I could go swimming in the sea every morning and then I'd have amazing hair every day. But no, in the sea I don't protect it. In the pool you should, and if you've got coloured hair, definitely protect it with a UV lotion or balm or something to stop your colour from fading or going brassy if you're blonde. Then, is it a good idea to ombre curly hair? My hair is black. I don't think that there's certain colours that you should or shouldn't avoid just because your hair's curly. I think with colour it's more important that you pick something that flatters your skin tone. So if you've got curly hair or straight hair, I don't think that really matters. I think it's more important that you flatter your skin tone. So definitely try and go down that road. If you've got black hair, I think it's a little bit unrealistic to think that it's going to be a total ombre look, because if you just have blonde ends and black hair, it won't be ombre, it'll just look two different colours. You'll have to kind of go very gradually, and only the ends would go blonde. So I wouldn't really recommend it with black hair, but if you want to go for it and you want to try it, by all means do so. You know, it's just hair, it's not the end of the world. Try and do it maybe with a semi-permanent colour and not with bleach, even though that won't really change the colour of your hair, but with black hair it is quite hard to get it to that colour anyway. And then, what do you do for dandruff? I've tried so many things and nothing works, they just dry out my curls. I don't tend to get dandruff as such, as I get a lot of product build-up because I wash my hair so often and I use a lot of products. I get quite a bit of product build-up. I just use Head and Shoulders. I think Head and Shoulders works really well, as does the Neutrogena Tea Gel, I think it's called. I'll just kind of wash my hair really well twice with that, and it gets rid of all the gunk and your hair just feels really nice. So that's what I would use all the time when my hair is feeling like it needs that. And if you've got a lot of product build-up, using washing up liquid works great. It really gets everything out. I know it sounds a bit gross, but it really does work. So that's something that you might want to try and mind. Don't do it if you've got very dry hair though. And then last but not least, do you ever go for a more firm, wet look? I don't, purely because I don't really like the look of it. I prefer my hair to kind of look soft and natural and kind of have a bit more body to it. I don't really like the kind of firm, wet look. I feel like it kind of, I don't know, it would look good if like you were a Bond girl coming out of the sea, but I don't, on me it just doesn't really look good. It's not very flattering for me. It's not very flattering for my moon face either, because I've got such a big fat round face that it just doesn't flatter it. I need to kind of have hair around it to kind of break it up a little bit. But if you did want to do that, I think using kind of definition products and things like gel and hairspray would be the ultimate way to achieve that kind of look. But it's not a look that I ever personally would go for. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've got any other questions, then put them in the down bar and I will answer them. Again, I'll do as many videos as these as you want me to if you've got more questions. And yeah, don't forget to check back the videos I've mentioned, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.